Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darius Lunchauskas. Today is the 3rd of October 2018. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's morning session where we're going to have a look at a few instruments I believe are quite important right now. But as always, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay guys, so let's not waste any of our valuable time and just jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on is the FTSE MIB now here. So as you can see, yes, we did have a nice slide here to the downside, a bit of selling off here, kicking in. Of course, we managed to reach the highs here near the 21,685 zone, approximately there, from which kind of the index kind of sold off then and found its good support near the 20,250 line. Now, just to kind of let me quickly mark that area for just our future reference. As you can see, this area here is quite an important one to watch because in the past here and recently and on around the 3rd of September, or actually a month ago, and also on the 17th of August, it acted as a very nice, good area of support, which kind of held the price from dropping lower. And as we can see yesterday, the index managed to touch that area again and then reversed quickly back to the upside. So the bulls kind of took control of it and managed to push the index back up. Now certainly we're still going to remain very cautious. I'm not saying that this is where it's going to continue driving higher from now, and yeah, we're gonna just end up pushing towards these previous higher levels. But to be honest, at this point you need to be very careful, because keep your eyes on this 20,250 level, because if we do get a break here below, now this is where we're gonna go and hunting for some lower levels, and the first good potential area of support could be seen around the 19,930. Now this was marked here by the highs that we saw around the 20th of April. Certainly, as you can see, then after that we kind of had a gap here and moved higher. But this could be the next level to watch. And by the way, just to kind of rephrase that a little bit, the 20th of April, that was last year, so quite an important level here, as you can see. But of course, for that to see, we would need to get a close below the 20,250 line. As you can see, it was acting well, and continues to act as a very good area of support. Certainly on the way lower here, the index could meet the psychological 20,000, but then again, like I said, probably the more important one to watch, it would be the 19,930. Below that, we do have the 19,440 area, approximately there. Of course, as you can see, it was marked here by the lows of the 13th of April 2017 as well. So also another good potential area, but again, only if we get a close here below the 20,250, and then we start breaking the 19,930. Now this is, like I said, this is where we're going to consider this lower level, the lows of the 13th of April 2017. If, of course, if this continues to push higher here today, we will see a follow through. Well, for us, to be honest, it's very difficult here at the moment to examine the or let's say to be very bullish on this one. from the very short-term perspective, you could maybe look at something like this. In a way, you could see this as a potential like little range here between the 20,850 and yeah, again, it's a very difficult one, to be honest. For us to kind of get more comfortable with the upside, we would need to see a good move back above this 21,685 zone, approximately there, or even actually you can round it up to 80. So there we go. It would be probably a much better level to watch, the 21,680. This one could be a nice kind of opening barrier for a potential move higher in a slightly longer term, or should I say from the slightly longer term perspective. So again, it's like I said, it's very difficult to talk about the upside for now. Certainly we could see a retracement here back to these levels, but it's not really we're not really comfortable here yet, because at any point here you could see these levels acting as very strong areas of resistance and then kind of pushing this index back down again. So for now, just keep on monitoring this one. Certainly from the downside, yep, if we do get a close below this level that I was just talking about, the 20,250, but on the upside, probably just let's see how it goes and let's see how it develops, if you're of course more of a longer term trader. Okay, let's jump into one commodity, or should I say precious metal, and that's gold. Gold yesterday had a nice push here to the upside, certainly continues to trade here below the this downside resistance line taken from the 11th of April 2018, or this year, but be very cautious here. As you can see, we had a nice push here. We could see maybe a follow through here to the upside, but again, we do have this downside resistance line. Let me just actually jump into a 4-hour chart on this one, and as you can see, this is what's happening right now. A few lines have to be adjusted now here. So this is the support level that we're going to keep an eye on. It's the 12,001 mark, so to 12,001, sorry. This is where we could see maybe if we do get a break here below this level, now that we could see a bit of a slide here to the downside, of course initially aiming for the this level here, this potential area of support, and that's around the 1194 zone. So approximately there, as you can see, was the peak here of the 28th of September. Let me just quickly mark that again for future reference. So approximately there, of course, this could be the nice target to watch if only we get a break below the 1201 zone. And again, like I said, this is one to watch from the short-term perspective. If we do get actually a slide like this, then be very careful of this. I would maybe call it more of a tentative upside support line here, which also could play out and which also could maybe initially hold the commodity from dropping further. But if we do get a move something like this, then well, and we do reach actually the 1194, then well, we'll just have to reevaluate the whole precious metal again, because we might maybe get a break here and close, or we could see a nice rebound from this area and then a push higher again. So for now, this is what's in regards to the downside on gold. From the upside, for us to get comfortable with the upside again, we would need to see a good move above the 1208, or the yesterday's highs, approximately there, of course, the 1208, and this is when we could potentially aim for the 1211, or a test of this downside resistance line that I was just talking about. Let's go into euro dollar quickly, and the euro dollar, looking at this 4-hour chart, as you can see, we're still trading below this this upside support line taken from the 15th of August, but yesterday we saw this nice reversal here. Of course, I was talking about this level here and one of my videos yesterday, and I was telling you guys to keep an eye on the 115.25 zone, approximately there, of course. So we had a nice break, and we had a nice break below that, but it kind of never actually closed, never closed below this. So in a way, this kind of right now, from the short-term perspective, maybe we could see a bit of more correction here to the upside. Of course, as you can see now, we're trading above this 115.70 zone that I was also talking about in one of my videos, and this 115.70 acted as a very good area of support here around the 28th of September and also on the 12th of September. So if this doesn't drop below this today, if this continues to hold, then well, we could see euro dollar climbing here a little bit more, a little bit higher here towards the 116. Actually, let me just quickly adjust this level here. Now this is should be something like this more. So the 116.20 zone approximately there, of course, and this could be the next potential area of resistance, and if that doesn't hold, well, it could end up testing these EMAs here, the 200, of course, the more important one, or even slightly above that, but again, watch out for this area, again, but only if we get a if we don't actually break below the 115.70. If we do get break below this, then yep, keep your eyes on the 115.25 again. We could end up testing that level, and for us to, let's say, continue examining lower levels, we would need to see a good close below the well, actually not only below the 115.25 now, but also below these lows that we saw yesterday, and that's approximately around the 115.05 zone. So then we will probably get more comfortable with the downside. So for now, be very cautious here. Certainly, like I said, we could see a bit of a correction here, a continuation to the upside, but again, like I said, only if we kind of stay above the 115.70. Jumping into GBPUSD, now this is a bit of a different story here. As you can see, well, I was looking at this one in one of my videos yesterday as well, and was talking about this potential move like this, basically, where we could see maybe a test of the upside support line taken from the 15th of August, which we did. It's nice, great, wonderful, but now, as you can see, we're getting a nice rebound from it, but what's interesting here is that the pair is getting held here by the this little level right here, and that's around the 130 level. So the psychological 130 continues to kind of hold GBP, and of course, for now, from the very short-term perspective, if this pair wants to get a bit more retracement, let's say, then we would need to see a good move here above the psychological 130, and of course this is where we could aim for the levels like 130.25, which is, to be honest, more of a tentative one. Let's actually get rid of it, and then we could aim for the 130.55 zone. So approximately there, and also if that doesn't stop, doesn't stop the acceleration, then well, we could end up testing this very short-term downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 20th of September. So could play out nicely again, but for now, as you can see, this is, like I said, the pair is stuck around the 130 zone. So for now, we're just gonna keep a close eye on it. For us to get comfortable with the downside, now this is where it's going to be a bit more tricky for the pair, because if we get a close here below this upside support line that I was just talking about, certainly that could be just one side of the coin. We could start looking at the downside, but for a better confirmation, we would need to get a nice close below this 129.40 zone, and this is, like I said, this is where we could aim for much lower levels like 128.70 here. So for now, just be very cautious with this 130 zone, and of course continue keeping your eyes on the upside support line. Looking at the USDJPY now, so USDJPY yesterday had a bit of a sell-off here. Certainly this was the level that I was watching, and this was the 113.75. We let's jump into a daily chart here quickly. We had a nice close below that level, but today, right now, you're seeing a bit of retracement back to the upside. So for now, we're still gonna keep on monitoring this one. For us to get comfortable with the upside, we would need to see a good move above the 114.005 area. As you can see, it acted as a very good area of resistance around the 1st of October, and of course, this is, like I said, this is when we're gonna get start examining higher levels. So for now, we're just gonna wait. But if this let's say 113.75 continues to hold today and we see a reversal back below it, well, I mean, we could end up actually moving towards this 113.40 level, and then maybe eventually towards a test of the upside support line that's taken from the 6th of September. This very short term, also maybe you could call it a more tentative one, but nevertheless could be a nice test of that. And for us to get comfortable with the downside, we would need to see a good close below the 113.15, and this way we could start examining much lower levels like 112.60, and of course below that. But for now, just judging by this, at the moment continues to trade above this short-term upside support line, but it's kind of holding on next to this 113.75 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. And a very quick review of the EURCAD here. Now, this one I was talking about yesterday, and again, this is let's jump into daily here. I was talking about this level right here, and I was saying in my video that keep your eyes on the 147.95, because if we get a close below, then yep, we could see maybe a follow through here towards these lower levels. But to be honest, we never got a close, and we're seeing this rejection here now. We're seeing some bull action kicking in, and let's jump into a 4-hour chart on this one quickly. So with this one, we of course continue to monitor this 147.95 zone, and if we do get a break here below, now of course we could start testing the yesterday's lows around the 147.65, but if this holds, if this 147.95 holds, then we could see maybe the bulls kind of getting comfortable again and maybe trying to push it back up here, and this is the level that we're going to keep on watching, the 149.10 on the upside here. But if that doesn't hold, the rate acceleration, then maybe we could see more correction here to the upside, where we could then aim for the 149.85, or even slightly a little bit higher towards the psychological 150 zone. So for now, keep your eyes on this one. Certainly, like I said, we could see maybe we are seeing right now a bit of moves here to the upside, but quickly we could see maybe a bit of a correction here again on this from the very short-term perspective here, a test of this 147.95, and if again, I'll repeat myself, if it continues to hold, well, I mean, like I said, the bulls could see this as a perfect opportunity to jump in and lift the pair from its actually, this steep sell-off that we had, so lift it a little bit higher. So for now, keep on watching this one. Like I said, be very careful with the 147.95, and let's see how this day develops further. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching and listening. I hope you found it useful, and if you want to join me later on in my Trader's Tea Time, and that's 13:15 GMT, 14:15 British Summer Time. But for now, thank you very much, and bye bye.